Hello and welcome to this video preview of Dirt 5. What you're looking at here is a special PC demo that's not publicly available and is far from finished because the game's not out for months yet, so expect many changes and improvements before the game hits the shelves later this year. Now the main thing I want to focus on in this video is what the game is actually like, because the Dirt series has actually been almost completely different in every iteration so far, with Dirt 2 and Dirt 3 having the most in common, though even they differed wildly in presentation style and mood. What this 4-track demo makes abundantly clear is that Dirt 5 is a return to racing for fun, ditching Dirt 4's comparatively slow-paced realism in favour of arcade-style thrills. It's exactly what I hoped for personally, showing up Dirt 4 as a rather dull and lifeless offering, and it feels like this new title is going to be the obvious and easily recommendable choice for anyone looking for a racing game on their next-gen console later this year, especially if they don't care about tyre wear, differentials and fuel consumption, all that simulation stuff. This is the arcadiest racer I've played in years, and it's got massive potential if this demo is anything to go by. So what do I mean by arcadey? I don't mean casual, that's for sure. Instead, I mean game design that's reminiscent of the greatest coin-operated racers from the 1990s, which anyone who's followed my channel will know I love very much. It's colourful for a start, vibrant, fun, glossy, slick, muddy, spectacular, and very, very slidey. It's got cool sticker-like event headers which echo Dirt 2 and look like a particularly talented graphic designer student doodled all over an X Games event program. It's got car handling that lets you recover from a side swipe on the opening straight, which would see you facing the wrong way in a more serious racer, and yet there's still nuance and depth based on real physics in its handling model. The handbrake button allows you to chuck your car sideways into the apex of a turn and cruise through it, redlining the throttle onto the straight beyond. There's confetti to speed through, leaves blowing across the track, and the kind of joyous environmental sights that we took for granted 25 years ago. I'm talking about lighthouses, the aurora borealis, rainbows, lens flares, lightning strikes, sunsets that illuminate the hills in the distance because they're higher than the track you're on. It's even got carefully considered placement of palm trees that tower over banked corners, framing the action in a way that modern games have simply forgotten they need to do. There are dangerous jumps over log bridges, laser shows at night, and simply the best snow flurries I've ever seen in a racing game. Now YouTube is probably compressing this into a pixelated mush, but believe me, this section looks absolutely phenomenal during actual gameplay. You might be able to see that every flake is rendered and lit individually, and it looks absolutely beautiful in motion. Indeed, with all this, the game it reminds me of most isn't actually Dirt 2 at all, although it certainly is more like that game than any other in the series. No, instead to me, it actually feels like Sega Rally on Xbox 360, which is known as Sega Rally Revo in the USA. The dense jungle scenery, the wide dirt tracks, and the, albeit understated surface deformation feel very familiar, and it all comes with a very Dreamcast-esque haze and colour palette which makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside, while also feeling like a next-gen title. These days it's rare I ever get that next-gen feeling from anything since technological progress has slowed down so much, but this makes me feel that old excitement, and significantly more so than the new Grid, itself an incredibly good-looking game. But its beauty isn't baked in. The time of day and dynamic weather effects can actually occur either at 1-to-1 real-time rate of change, or anything up to 1 minute in the game equating to 2 hours of the day and night cycle. It seems locked to that acceleration in this demo, but the results are spectacular, changing from day to dusk to night over the course of a mere 3 laps. If you check out my channel, there's actually a full race where you can see that whole sequence happening for yourself. Now, I don't want to gush too much and make you think that this is going to be the best racing game ever made, partly because this is just a 4-track demo, but also because I do have some reservations, which I'll come on to in a minute. But at the moment it is impossible to tell just how involved the promised career mode will be. Currently there are no drivers' voices, which there were in Dirt 2, but I did notice one familiar name in the AI cars. Yep, Katie Justice is back. I never thought I'd say this when Dirt 2 was sitting in my Xbox 360, but I've actually missed her. One thing about career mode that I must mention, however, is the promise of 4-player couch co-op, with the best finisher in each round acting as the progression marker. So as long as one of you hits the race target, you'll all go through to the next round of career mode. So if you're playing in 4-player split screen with 3 friends, you're not limited to single events. As long as you're not competing in a single car time trial or a dual car face-off, you can all play the career mode together and progress together, and that is awesome. Similar to the system used in the recent Forza Horizon games, there will be an option to create your own event, although I should point out that this is not an open world racer. The environments have got preset tracks which have been carefully curated, and so you'll be choosing them and choosing the time of day and weather, number of laps and AI difficulty and all that sort of thing instead. There'll also be the ability to create a unique decal for your car, though that's based on scaling preset textures and changing colour palettes rather than recreating the Mona Lisa like you can in Forza Motorsport. Now, I mentioned earlier that I do have a few reservations, and this is a demo, so I do have to be careful what I say because anything can and will change. While there is a modicum of car damage evident in the races that I played, it never seems to go further than the sort of damage seen in the recent Grid reboot, namely bodywork hanging off, broken tail lights, a few dents and scrapes and such like. But I should point out that the developers did participate in a Q&A session, and they told me that the damage model does go further than Grid's, so I look forward to seeing how that's expanded as the game nears its winter release. If the damage modelling comes anywhere near Dirt 2's incredible crashes, this could be phenomenal, though they did say that they do have to be careful about things encroaching into the cockpit of the cars because that would actually force up the age rating. At the moment they're heading for T for teen. But for now, I'm just very happy that we finally have a pure, fun racing game with absolutely top-notch production values to look forward to on next gen. The game is also coming to current gen machines, namely PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, although if you buy the game on Xbox One, you will be able to play it free of charge on an Xbox Series X, so that's pretty cool. The game is not currently planned for Nintendo Switch, although the developers did say never, and if this game will run on a base Xbox One, I should imagine that a Switch version is possible, although it won't look anywhere near as good as what you're looking at here. But based on what I've played, whatever you play it on, it really is going to be a return to fun racing action, and that's something that we really haven't seen for such a long time, especially from the Dirt series, so let's hope I'm right. Well, that's about it for this video. Please hit like and subscribe, and keep a lookout on my channel for more on Dirt 5, as well as more modern gaming videos, retro videos and more. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.